The hearing aids this year are gonna blow you away. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm talking about the best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025. Well, it is finally that time of year again where I get to share all of my top picks for the best hearing aids currently available on the market. 2025 is going to be an absolutely terrific year to get your first set of hearing aids or to upgrade your current hearing aid technology, considering all of the new releases that we saw in 2024. I personally test and fit all of these hearing aids inside of my clinic here in Phoenix, so I have a personal understanding of how good all of these hearing aids actually are. And in this video, I'm focusing in on the best receiver and canal hearing aids that you can get your hands on. Of course, if you like these best of hearing aid videos, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you get a notification every single time I publish one of my best of videos. And let me know down in the comment section which one of these hearing aids that you actually think is best. These are the top 6 hearing aids that I believe are the best hearing aids you can get in 2025, and I'm listing them in no particular order because what might be the best hearing aid for you may not be the best hearing aid for someone else. That being said, the first hearing aid to make this year's list of best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025 is the new Phonak Audeo Infinio Sphere. The Phonak Sphere, which I will reference this hearing aid as from this point on, only comes in 2 different technology levels due to the really high demand of this particular hearing aid. It comes in level 90 and level 70, with level 90 being their premium offering. I should mention that pretty much every prescription hearing aid that's available on the market, including every single one of the hearing aids that I'm going to be talking about in this video, comes in different technology levels. And the rule of thumb when it comes to technology level is that when you drop down in technology level, it takes features and customizations away from your hearing care professional, which means that you may be leaving some performance on the table. Of course, it does reduce the cost of those devices, so my recommendation is you should go with the highest level of technology that you can reasonably afford. The Phonak Sphere only comes in a rechargeable form factor, and it is probably the most waterproof hearing aid that you can get your hands on. The flagship feature of this hearing aid is their new Deep Sonic chip that is 100% dedicated to separating speech from background noise. Combined with Phonak's directional microphones, the Deep Sonic chip is capable of achieving an 11 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement, which is ridiculously good. Why don't I go ahead and let you listen to a sound sample for yourself?
Play an intro song, and I was so behind the beat because when I would press it down, all of a sudden the pitch shift stuff was behind by like 10 milliseconds. I mean, it's enough to make the feel off.
So how exactly is Phonak able to achieve this level of performance with their Deep Sonic chip inside of the Sphere hearing aid? Well, they are now using what is known as a deep neural network, which uses artificial intelligence to separate speech from background noise. Now, I will spare you the details of what a deep neural network is and how it works, but I do have other videos explaining that if you're interested on my channel. All you really need to know is that Phonak trained their deep neural network with over 22 million sound samples, so their Deep Sonic chip is capable of separating speech from noise because it is better able to identify what is speech and what is noise. Personally, I have never listened to a hearing aid that does this as well as what Phonak does when you get into a background noise situation, and I have a lot of patients that I have fit with this particular hearing aid that report the exact same thing. Even third-party independent hearing aid testing lab HearAdvisor ranked the Phonak Sphere as the best performing hearing aid in background noise compared to every other prescription hearing aid that they have tested. As for other features that earn the Phonak Sphere a place on this year's list, you have the Bluetooth upgrade from version 4.2 to version 5.3, which allows for extended range of transmission and better stability of Bluetooth signal. This Bluetooth version 5.3 will also allow for a future firmware update to LE Audio Bluetooth and Auracast. Bluetooth LE Audio allows for better streaming sound quality at lower bit rates, so it takes less battery life to perform streaming. Bluetooth LE Audio will also allow for sharing a Bluetooth signal, so if you're listening to a video on your phone and you're streaming that into both of your hearing aids, you're also able to share that Bluetooth signal with somebody else who has Bluetooth LE Audio enabled hearing aids or earbuds. The Auracast feature inside of the Phonak Sphere hearing aids will give you access to broadcast audio inside of public venues, and it will eventually replace the need for a telecoil inside of hearing aids. Auracast will allow you to stream audio directly from public venues into both of your hearing aids. I'm talking about airports, museums, sports bars, Broadway shows, or even church venues. This will ultimately be a huge game changer for accessibility for individuals with hearing loss and pretty much everybody everybody as well, because this technology will be much more universal than what telecoils were, so I expect it to be adopted much quicker and much broader. Phonak's My Phonak app has also been improving over the course of the past several years, and it has finally eclipsed the 4.0 star rating on Google Play as well as the Apple App Store. This app allows you to customize the audio of your own hearing aids by adjusting the volume levels, changing different programs, saving different types of programs that you create, and you even have a new Find My Hearing Aid feature with this particular app with the Phonak Sphere hearing aids, so in case you lose a hearing aid, you can actually track where you last left it. The Phonak Sphere is also directly compatible with the Roger On 3, which is perhaps the best accessory that is available on the hearing aid market at this time. It's actually 5 accessories inside of one. Honestly, if the Phonak Sphere was the only hearing aid you had access to, you probably could not go wrong because it is that good. Alright, so before I move on to the next hearing aid on this year's list, just know that none of these best of hearing aid videos are ever sponsored. I do have full detailed review videos for every single one of these hearing aids where I share both the pros and the cons of each of these hearing aids, so make sure that you check out those videos if one of these hearing aids piques your interest. Alright, so the second hearing aid on this year's list of best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025 is the Oticon Intent. Oticon completely reinvented the Intent hearing aid from their previous generation Oticon Real hearing aid. The Intent comes in 4 different technology levels, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, with level 1 being their premium offering. Oticon is actually the hearing aid manufacturer that pioneered the use of a deep neural network that all the other hearing aid manufacturers are now starting to use for digital signal processing. But their new Intent hearing aid has a new upgraded version of their deep neural network to version 2.0 to better separate speech from background noise. In fact, the Intent hearing aid ranked number 2 right behind the Phonak Sphere hearing aid by HearAdvisor when they tested its performance in background noise. However, the superpower of an Oticon Intent hearing aid is being able to amplify high frequencies for individuals with a high frequency hearing loss. So if you happen to have a high frequency hearing loss with good low frequency hearing but not so good high frequency hearing, the Oticon Intent hearing aid may be the best hearing aid for you. The cool thing about the Intent hearing aid is that it already uses Bluetooth LE audio for better streaming sound quality and lower battery drain, but it is only currently compatible with, of course, other phones that have LE audio Bluetooth capabilities. So my Samsung Galaxy S23 does a really good job with LE audio, but my iPhone does not do a good job because it doesn't have LE audio quite yet. Hopefully the iPhone 17 finally rolls it out. The Intent is actually ready to go when Auracast becomes more widely available inside of public venues. We just have to wait for these public venues to get Auracast Bluetooth transmitters so we can tap into the audio signal of those venues. Oticon also improved the physical fit of the Intent by changing the receiver wires, so now when you're wearing these really small hearing aids, the wires actually stay inside of your ears better and they are less conspicuous to boot. I should mention that the Oticon Companion app is a nice app to make some customizations of the audio of your hearing aids, and it is a much better app than what it gets credit for because it is currently ranked as a 2.5 star app inside of the App Store and the Google Play Store. If you use the Oticon Intent hearing aid with an Apple iPhone, it is also compatible using the Apple Watch, so you can make some self-customizations on your own right from your wrist so you don't have to break out your phone. The Oticon Intent hearing aid is a super popular hearing aid for good reason, so if you're looking to get new hearing aids here in 2025, this would be a great device to keep on your short list. Now keep in mind that none of these hearing aids are actually any good unless you've had them fit and programmed by a hearing care professional who follows comprehensive audiologic best practices. Now if you want an easy way to find a hearing care professional who follows these best practices, make sure that you go to my website hearingup.com and find a HearingUp network member in your area so you can maximize the performance of whichever one of these hearing aids is best for you. Each of the providers in my HearingUp network have been personally vetted and are committed to best practice audiologic care using a person-centered care approach so you can hear your absolute best. The third hearing aid on this year's list of best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025 is the Starkey Edge Ai. Starkey typically comes out with a brand new hearing aid every single year, and this year they did not disappoint. The Edge Ai comes in 3 different technology levels, level 24, 20, and 16, with level 24 being their premium offering. The nice thing is they have both rechargeable and disposable battery options. This includes their smaller micro-RIC that is rechargeable with 41 hours of battery life per charge, and their regular RIC that has 51 hours of battery life per charge. The disposable battery version of the Edge AI uses a size 312 battery. Starkey's robust durability testing gives these hearing aids an IP68+ rating, which is on par with the Phonak Sphere. Of course, the Starkey Edge AI now also uses a deep neural network that is embedded inside of their primary chip for maximum efficiency and lower latency sound processing. The crazy thing is that Starkey figured out a way to perform this deep neural network sound processing without sacrificing battery life. Let me go ahead and play you a sound sample for the Starkey Edge AI here as well in background noise.
Range anxiety in a charge. Our goal at Starkey was to remove the fear from hearing aid users that they'll miss out on one of life's most important moments due to running out of battery life in their hearing aids.
Now, while Starkey is running their deep neural network the entire time that you're wearing their hearing aids, they still give you the option to activate Edge Mode Plus. Edge Mode Plus can be left on all of the time without necessarily sacrificing battery life, and you can optimize it for better speech intelligibility or better noise reduction. When the Edge AI hearing aids have been optimized by your hearing care professional, the maximum performance of signal-to-noise ratio improvement that was measured was 13 decibels as reported by Starkey. Of course, 13 decibels is absolutely insane. And since it's Starkey, the Edge AI is also loaded with a ton of other non-hearing related features like fall detection and the steady protocol to actually assess how good you are at balance and to help train you on getting better at balance. This is a terrific feature considering that a lot of individuals with hearing loss also have a higher risk of falling. And if you're one of the few people out there who actually wants to be able to use your hearing aids for language translation, the Starkey Edge AI hearing aids allow you to do that as well. Overall, Starkey continues to impress with every single new hearing aid technology that they release. I guess the only question is how are they possibly going to be able to improve upon the Edge AI next year? Now, you're probably already enrolled in an auditory training program, right? You're not? Well, what the heck are you waiting for? Okay, so here's the thing. Auditory training is one of the absolute best ways for you to improve your performance with hearing aids, even in a background noise situation. Now, this new app called Lace AI Pro actually is auditory training that you can do easily right from your smartphone. There's over 20 years of research proving that auditory training using Lace AI significantly improves your ability to hear in background noise by up to 6 decibels in signal-to-noise ratio improvement. This roughly equates to a 60% improvement in speech intelligibility when you're in a background noise situation. And if you happen to add that to any one of the hearing aids that I'm talking about in this video, then your background noise performance is going to skyrocket. If you would like to start using Lace AI yourself to gain an unfair advantage with your hearing aids, I will have a link in the description of this video, as well as a discount code for Dr. Cliff's channel subscribers. All right, now on to the fourth hearing aid to make this year's list of best hearing aids you can get in 2025, we have the Widex Moment SmartRIC. The Widex Moment SmartRIC comes in 4 different technology levels. You have level 440, 330, 220, and 110, with level 440 being their premium offering. It only comes in rechargeable form factor, likely due to the unique shape of this particular hearing aid that has very horizontal microphone placement. Microphone directionality continues to be one of the best ways to get signal-to-noise ratio improvements with hearing aids. Directional microphones can determine which direction sound is coming from due to timing differences between multiple microphones on the hearing aid itself. The bigger the timing difference, the better a hearing aid is at performing polar plotting to isolate speech that you want to hear from background noise that you do not want to hear. To create the biggest timing difference possible, you want to have the microphones on a hearing aid be as horizontal as possible, ideally as close to 0 degrees as you can get. Traditional receiver and Canal hearing aids have a microphone angle of between 30 and 50 degrees as they're being worn. But the Widex Moment SmartRIC has an angle of between 6 and 21 degrees, which is much more horizontal than what you get with other hearing aid microphones. This results in a 1.25 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement, which roughly equates to a 12.5% improvement in speech intelligibility and background noise. Other than this microphone placement to try to improve signal-to-noise ratio, the Widex Moment SmartRIC is one of the better hearing aids for individuals who like listening to live music thanks to their high input dynamic range. You also get the SoundSense Learn feature inside of the Widex Moment app, so you can use machine learning to train your hearing aids how you want them to sound when you're actually in different environments. Overall, the Widex Moment SmartRIC hearing aid is a little bit better than the previous generations of Widex hearing aids, and they're definitely worth considering here in 2025. The fifth hearing aid on this year's list of best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025 is the ReSound Nexia. The Nexia hearing aid looks a lot like the previous generation Omnia hearing aid from ReSound, but with a few key feature improvements. It does come in 3 different technology levels, level 9, level 7, and level 5, with level 9 being their premium offering. The rechargeable version of this hearing aid, called the MicroRe, has to be the smallest rechargeable hearing aid currently available on the market, but it is still loaded with a ton of great features. I should mention that ReSound also has disposable battery versions of this particular hearing aid. Perhaps the most exciting improvement of the ReSound Nexia is the upgrade to Bluetooth LE audio and Auracast. And yes, you can use it right now. You do not have to wait for a future firmware update. The Nexia is also a good hearing aid in background noise if you use the Front Focus program, which can get you up to a 9 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement over their omnidirectional microphones. The ReSound Smart 3D app literally looks like the same app that they had back in 2017, but it is probably one of the best performing apps that is out there on the market, with one of the higher ratings inside of the App Store and the Google Play Store. The app, of course, acts as a remote control, so you can make different volume adjustments, program adjustments, you can find your lost hearing aids if you happen to lose them, and yes, you can even adjust your hearing aids using your Apple Watch if you happen to use an iPhone. I should also mention that the Nexia also has a cross transmitter that you can use with it, so it's a great option for individuals with single-sided deafness. ReSound also has some really good accessories like the multi-mic, the micro mic, and the new TV Streamer Plus that uses Auracast to stream broadcast audio. So if you have other individuals who have LE audio enabled devices, whether they're hearing aids, earbuds, or headphones, they'd be able to tap into the TV streamer as well. Overall, the ReSound Nexia is a really solid hearing aid when it comes to Bluetooth compatibility as well as performance and background noise. And the sixth and final hearing aid to make this year's list of best receiver and canal hearing aids of 2025 is the Signia Styletto iX. Okay, so when it comes to performance, the Signia Styletto iX is pretty much the exact same hearing aid as the Signia Pure Charge & Go iX. It just happens to look a bit cooler in my opinion. The Styletto X comes in 5 different technology levels: level 7, 5, 3, 2, and 1, with level 7 being their premium offering. Of course, it only comes in rechargeable form factor thanks to the unique look of this particular hearing aid. These hearing aids still have battery context because they use galvanic charging, but it gives them a really long battery life. You can pretty much wear these hearing aids for a day and a half straight if you had to. The headline features of the Signia Styletto iX happen to be their dual processing strategy as well as their own voice processing version 2.0. The dual processors inside of the iX hearing aids allows these hearing aids to separately process speech and background noise. As far as how they perform in background noise, I happen to think that they are significantly better than their previous generation of technology. Now, my perception was also validated by Signia's white paper, where it indicated that 95% of Signia iX users perform better in complex speech testing. Own voice processing 2.0 is a terrific feature for individuals who do not like the sound of their own voice when they're talking because it's being amplified by the hearing aids. This particular feature, when you train it, actually reduces the amount of amplification given to your voice, but does not negatively affect amplification of anybody else's voice. While this is not typically an issue for individuals who are experienced wearing hearing aids, it can be a nice feature for people who are brand new to hearing aids. The Signia Styletto iX is future compatible with Bluetooth LE audio and Auracast. You also get access to the Signia app, and my favorite feature of the Signia app is you being able to control the microphone directionality, but you can do other self-adjustments like program changes and volume adjustments as well. Honestly, I was really impressed with the updates that Signia made in their Styletto iX hearing aids, which is definitely why they earned a place on this year's list. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you're on the fence about upgrading your hearing aid technology or treating your hearing loss for the very first time, with all of the technological advancements that we saw over the course of 2024, 2025 is the absolute best year to get a new set of hearing aids. Just remember, if you want to maximize the performance of your hearing aids, not only do you have to have an excellent hearing care professional who follows comprehensive best practices that you can find on my website, HearingUp.com, but you also need to make sure that you're performing auditory training to maximize your brain's ability to understand what you're getting from the hearing aids. And like I mentioned, I do have a link for Lace AI in the description of this video. And to finish off, if you are not interested in receiver and canal hearing aids and you'd prefer to get a different style of hearing aid, make sure that you check out my playlist of all of the best hearing aids that you can get in 2025.